Hey everybody, welcome to class. I am sorry I'm not there again today, but I will be there tomorrow. And I looked through some of your Desmos work and it seemed like you guys were doing well. So hopefully you were doing well with graphing linear inequalities on a coordinate, or not on a coordinate, on a number line. Today we're going to do coordinate plane, and then after you do this, you'll do a little bit of practice of both. But we are going to go ahead and put these on graphs, kind of like we have been doing with linear functions, but it's just a little different. So today we're going to graph. So like I said, today we're going to graph linear inequalities on coordinate planes. Yesterday we graphed them on number lines. In order to do this, we must first talk about how to graph single variable lines. So this is something we kind of briefly touched on last unit. We're going to talk about it today. So it's what happens when we get a graph and there's not an x and a y. What do we do? So what happens when we're being told to graph y equals 2? So I just want to remind you guys, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. Everything above this line, everything up there above the x-axis, all of the y values are positive. All the y values down here are negative. And then it works the other way. All of the x values on this side are positive and all the x values on this side are negative. So just to remind that. And so if we want to graph this, if it's y equals 2, we're only really concerned about y. And so first I want to find, where does y equal 2 on the graph? So I know y equals 2 right there. At that point specifically is 0, 2. But also this point right here is 2, 2. So again, y is 2 there. And any point on this line, y is going to equal 2. It doesn't matter what the x value is. All I know is every point on this line, y is going to equal 2. So that's how I'm going to graph it. Y is always going to be a horizontal line. So y is always going to be a horizontal line. So all you have to do is find where 2 is on the x-axis and then draw a horizontal line through that point right there. So that's all I have to do. Now we'll do x equals -4. And this time we're going to go to the x-axis and we're going to find where on the x-axis does x equals -4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. But I also know that x equals -4 right here. This time the point is -4, 3. I also know that x equals -4 here and everywhere on this line, x equals -4. So to represent x equals -4, I'm going to draw a line through x equals -4. That's all you really have to do. It's not too bad. Just remember x is always vertical and then y is always horizontal. So there's no slant to this whatsoever. Okay, I want you guys to try to graph the next two on your own. So go ahead and pause it. I'm going to wait like 30 seconds here, and then I'll write the answer up here. So 30 seconds on the clock. Okay, I don't know if that's 30 seconds. I'm not great at counting, but the answer to this one is 3. This would go right here. And hold on, I'm going to try that again. I'm working on my ability to draw a straight line. Right, so that is y equals -9. And then x equals 3 is right here. Super simple. Also, fun fact, this has a slope of 0. So the slope is 0, and this slope is undefined. Okay, so hopefully we get that down. It really isn't too bad. We're going to use that information to finally graph some inequalities on coordinate line. But real quick, I want you guys to try to fill in the meaning of what all these symbols mean. I'll give you 30 more seconds and then I'll fill them in. And then try to pay attention to what is dotted and what is solid. Okay. I, again, don't know if that was 30 seconds, but you can pause it. So this one is less than. This one is greater than. This one is less than or equal to. And this one is greater than or equal to. And then fun fact about this, so notice that the equal to ones are the ones that go with the solid line. Just kind of like yesterday, the equal to ones were the filled in circles versus the less than and just the greater than were the circle ones. So again, this just is representing, the solid line represents that these are solutions to our function, to our inequality. Okay, so now the key to actually graphing these linear inequalities is one, is it a vertical or is it a horizontal line? Is it solid or is it dotted? And then this next part is, are we shading to the left? Are we shading to the right or above or below? So this first one, based on the things we did at first, since it's an X, because it's an X, we know this is going to be a vertical line. So vertical because it has an X. And we're going to fill this whole chart in, and then we're going to actually use this information to graph. So this is dotted because it's a greater than or equal to sign, so emphasis on the equal. And then this final thing, I'm going to draw a graph off to the side. So all of the X values are going to be greater than 4. So that means they're going to be, so say that's where 4 is right there. Oops, you can't even see that. So say that's 4 right there, right? All of the things greater than 4 would be on the right side of it. So all the X values greater than 4 would be on the right side. And so we're going to shade to the right. And then we'll keep going. So if you guys want to try some of these on your own, you can. But this next one, since it's a Y value, that means it's going to be horizontal. Since it's a less than sign, not a less than or equal to sign, it's going to be, oops, oh, sorry, one second. This one should have been solid. My bad. And this one is dotted. And then all of the Y values that are less than 7 are going to be below 7. So I'm going to write below. Okay, we're just going to keep tracking through these. So this is X, so it's vertical. It's a less than or equal to sign, so it's solid. And then it's less than, so less than left. We can kind of think about it right there. So we are going to graph to the left. Y is greater than -1 is horizontal. It is a greater than sign, but no equal, so it's dotted. And then it's greater than, and so greater than is going to go above. So all the values above -1. Okay, this is an X value, so it's vertical. We're kind of going back and forth with these. This is going to be dotted. And then less than, so it's left. I want you to try all the remainder ones on your own, so there's only 3 more, and then I'm just going to fill them in. I'm not going to talk about them. Okay, if you want to check your answer, they're right there. Okay, so now we're actually going to sketch these on the inequality. And so this first one was our first one. And this said it was vertical, solid, and right. So I'm just going to write VSR. So I know it's going to be a vertical line, and the vertical line is going to be at 4. And then S, it's solid. So I'm going to draw a solid line right here. And I'm going to have arrows at the end. And now the question is, which side do I shade? So which side are the solutions included? On which side of this line is x greater than 4? Well, I know x is greater than 4 on this side because on this side, x is 5, x is 6, 8, and 10, and those numbers are all greater than 4. But on the left side, you have 2 and -2 and -4, and all of those numbers are less than 4. So this is how you sketch this inequality on the coordinate plane. Really not too bad. Okay, this next one is y less than 7. So this is a horizontal line because it's a y. It's going to be a dotted line because it's just less than, not less than or equal to. And then we're going to plot this one below because all of the values less than 7 are below it. So I'm going to switch this to a dotted line. So you're going to draw a dotted line at 7, and it's going to be a dotted vertical line at 7. So luckily, Notability kind of does that for me. Still going to do arrows on both sides. And then all of the values less than 7 are going to be down here. And I'm going to shade all of this in. So if you guys have a pencil and you don't have a highlighter like me, just kind of shade it like this, you know? Oops. You can just kind of go like this, right? I'll kind of get the idea of it, but make sure it's pretty filled in. So good work here. We'll do 2 more together, and then I want you to do the last 4 by yourself. But I'll give you a little bit more time for this one. Okay, so these next 2, so this one is a horizontal, or is a vertical line because it's x. It is a solid line because it's less than or equal to, and then it's going to go to the left because it's a less than sign. So x equals -3 is right here, and I'm drawing a solid line. And then all the values less than -3 are on this side. So I'm going to shade in this side of my graph. Just like that. Okay, over here, I have a horizontal that is not dotted. So this is this is dotted because it's a greater than sign, and then it's a greater than sign, it's above. So it's not always going to happen where x is always greater than or equal to. It's not always going to happen where x is equal to and y is not. That's not how it works, but it just happens that these 4 examples kind of show that. But we're going to go to -1, and I'm going to do a dotted line at -1, and it's going to be a horizontal line. Okay, and then I am going to graph above because all of the y values above -1 are up here. And that's how you do that. Okay, so for the rest of time, here, sorry, I'll give you a little bit more time, but again, you can pause it. I'll give you 20 more seconds. Okay, we'll say that was 20 seconds. So I want you guys to work on these 4 for the rest of time. There's a blank copy of this on Google Classroom, just so you know. I probably should have said that at the beginning, but I'm just gonna work through them right now so you guys can check your answers. Oops. Okay, go ahead and pause if you're still working, but these are the answers, so go ahead and check your work. If you guys need any help, just send me an email. I will, again, like I said, be back tomorrow and would love to help you guys, but I am going to end this video. So if you still need to check your answers, just stop here. But I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'm going to stop recording.